So here we are looking at the Vans women's Aura, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this boot. Just from, I rode the men's, Steph rode the women's. Really impressed with the overall ride of the Aura. It's just a good boot for the price point. The BOA's really good because it's upper and lower separate, where, so bottom separate than the top, where most double BOAs like overlap like this, so they're made to wrap around your boot, around your ankle and really pull it in tight, where this is more like this, and it wraps around the top and the bottom. They're very close to one another, so there is still good heel grip, maybe more so than heel hold, maybe more so than like a traditional lace or a speed lace, but it's still not as good as the true focus BOA that kind of overlap. But the trade-off is, it's what do you want? Do you want like to just completely wrap around your ankle, or do you want adjustability? If you want adjustability, this is your boot. This liner is super comfortable day one. It's a little weird, like there's Velcro on one side and not on the other, but when you use this little like inner lacing thing, you've got a pretty good grip around there, and none of us ever thought about it again. So we just kind of thought it was weird at first, but once we were in it and it was wrapped around our ankle, it was fine. This little insole isn't bad. It's definitely not the best, but it's doable. I'd probably keep this for a little bit and see if it works for you. Normally I'd just say throw it out, but they're okay. That Ultra Cush is okay. You can kind of see inside there. There's not much going on there. The sole, nice and shock absorbent. Nothing exceptional. It seems like it's more than it really is. But it's kind of mid-level on the heel, which is good. But then as you get towards the toe, it seems to like taper off and be really minimal and have a really cool kind of skate feel. Rubber in the brown area, and white is EVA foam. But as you can see, there's almost as much rubber as there is EVA foam, and in all the critical areas there's good grip, so it's not really something you have to worry about. There's also a little articulation point here. You don't really have like a rubber backstay, but at least you have a little ankle articulation here, so the forward flex is going to hold and not break down as quick as it would. But these heat moldable liners are amazing. They just feel so comfortable. Almost all of us felt that way. Steph felt a little bit of pressure where this BOA is right here. This actual coiler felt like it was pressing in on her ankle on one foot, but not the other. So that's not really something to say it's uncomfortable. It might have been her foot, or it might have been this demo boot we had. But overall, it's a very comfortable boot right out of the box, and it's for those who are looking for decent adjustability, a decent price point, and a boot that's going to feel comfortable almost day one. It only took us all a few runs for this heat moldable liner to kind of expand and form around your foot and become your friend. So it was great. And then you have this little like, a pretty thick kind of J-bar running around the heel here, and it does two things. It kind of gives you a little more ankle support, wraps around your ankle better, so there's minimized heel lift. But even better, it helps a little bit with flex retention. Still, these Auras don't start out like they're not super stiff, but It's going to help them retain their flex a little bit longer. And they're really not the kind of boots that last like 100 days and have a similar flex from the day 1 to day 100. And they progressively get softer. But that's okay though, because these aren't really made for that kind of rider. They're made for the person who likes to ride 10, 20, 30 days a year and wants a boot, wants every day they ride to matter and to feel good. And so that's what makes the Vans Aura, women's Aura, so great. And it's, you know, the BOA tracking's exceptional. It's just a good all-around boot for this price point. I mean, it even has rubber on the sole. It has good BOA routing. It just, you know, maybe one of the only complaints is it's a little soft in the toe. You know, sort of over the toe grip, but none of us felt like it was terrible right now. Maybe over time it'll break down. Also, it's a boot that has, you know, it's not as bulky as it used to be. And so Steph was a 7.5, and she fit an 8, no problem, with Vans. So every foot's different. So for me, the size 9 fit true. So it really comes down to your foot. And how it works. If your foot's a little wide, these run a little on the narrow side. So, but they're not terrible. They're not terribly narrow. So it really comes down. Maybe Steph had a slightly wider foot, and so the 8 fit better. But who knows? Every foot's so different. So just, you know, try them on before you buy them and see how they feel. Because comfort's the most important thing. But all in all, super impressed with the women's Aura. Really like them for the price point and for the adjustability. Most BOA boots don't give you upper and lower. They all kind of double bows, kind of all overlap like this or like this. And that can be frustrating because you don't really have any adjustability. What you do, the upper, it kind of overlaps on the lower. So this is really nice that you can actually go completely separate, just like you can with Burton Speed Lace. So great boot. Really doesn't feel like it's going to hold its flex for a long time, but that's okay because a lot of people would rather have comfort over flex retention.